Hundreds, thousands of hours of development, a massive team, tremendous research, and razor-sharp skills. It takes all this to create the epic that is RuneScape. He's brutal, he's fierce, and nothing less than the exceptional will get past this force of nature. It's the Content Development Manager, Deadly Dean Olive. With the eye of a tiger, this is the RuneScape QA Manager, the inscrutable, the indestructible Ingo Schumacher. Always on a quest for supremacy, this dragon is impossible to impress. The RuneScape Art Director, the magnificent Martin Sever. The ever-critical, ever-frightening Design Team Lead, mighty Matthew Holland. Last but not least, it's the final dragon, the executive producer himself, the powerful, the fearsome Phil Mansell.
So, hello everybody. I don't know if you can hear me right. Can everybody hear me? Okay. Sorry. What did I do? I have no idea. Okay. So, hello. I don't know if you know what's going to happen here today, right now, but we've been doing a lot of pitches and feedbacks throughout the day. We've had so many panels listening to your ideas of what would you like to see in RuneScape. They're all your ideas. There were all kind of ideas, big ones, really massive ones, small ones, really cute ones too. What we've done is selected 4 of the most interesting ones that we thought had a potential that we're going to pick up. Well, I'm not going to pick up, luckily. I've got 5 dragons here who are going to make that decision. They're going to select only one idea. We're going to make it, actually, I'm going to make it myself for you in game. The whole world is going to play that. Whoever wins this decision is going to be so famous. They're going to be known all over the world. It's their idea, made by us, chosen by the fantastic dragons. So I'm not going to take very long. I have amazing 4 contestants here. The 5th one, Rouget says he's not here yet, but his idea was cool too. But apparently he lost his glasses. He can't see anymore. But anyway, so I've got 4 amazing contestants here as it is. So I'm going to start off with the first one. That's one you're going to like the most, I think, because I love it. But we're not going to decide, you're not going to decide, they're calling the shots. So, you know, but what I would really like you to do is actually, whatever you like, just give them support. Just support them, you know, we need the support. They need a lot of cheering. They're very nervous backstage, so do help them out. Okay, first off, I'm gonna, oh, this is a good one. You excited? Sorry, again. Okay. Yes, LA Ballet 14. Come on, join us. Take it away, 3 minutes, and I'm going to blow a whistle after 3 minutes. So
my idea is something I've decided to call quest map. Basically, the quest map is during the gameplay, I often find that when I'm playing a quest, such as the Myrique series, for example, you will start and finish one quest, but by the time you get to the second quest, there's something happened between. So part of the map quest would be that in the quest interface screen, there's going to be a little map section which, much like a tree, will expand upwards. It will show a recommended idea of what quest to do next, because I'll be honest, we all come to that point where we've just done a quest and we think, what now? What do I want to do now? And this is sort of like during the challenges for your skills. It gives you an idea of what direction you then want to go into. Also, with this, in the quest map interface, my recommendation for that would be between 2 of the quests, there's a clickable point that if there is a gap between the end of one quest and the start of the next, it gives maybe either a cutscene or a dialogue box explaining roughly what has happened up to that point between that first and second quest. The actual map quest map itself, I feel that would be useful for everyone because, well, a lot of new players, they do maybe the first couple of quests, so they do the chef's assistant. But once they've done through most of the free quests, and if they don't do the members, they've got those. But if they then go on to the members, as a new member, you don't always know where to start. So it can help in that way. I imagine it would go along the same sort of interface as the achievements or the different items you can get from the different cities for doing these different tasks. So it'll be a similar idea to the task system, I imagine. Apart from that, it's mainly for giving you some sort of idea of continuity throughout. So as you're living your years through the RuneScape world, you get a better idea of how everything is flowing, instead of maybe doing, such as some of you will have done World Wakes, and then go back and do some of the quests that were previous to World Wakes, which makes it seem out of order. So it can sometimes be like, where does this quest fit in with the grand scheme of things? So I hope you are interested in what I had to say, and if anyone has any questions, please do ask.
Yes, I like that already. Ingo, take it away. Thoughts?
I like it. General, I think it's a good idea. I like the idea of... Oh, sorry, I need the mic, sorry. I like the idea. General, I think it's a good idea. I think the good thing about this is that you think about a variety of player groups, which for us is always interesting, and we always need to make sure that we cover all the player bases. So, yeah, I think it's a good idea so far. Liked it.
So you're in or you're out?
I would give you my vote.
Yes, Ingo's in. One vote.
A couple of questions. First, if I may, is there any combat in this update?
No, the combat would only be within the quests themselves that you do.
Right, okay. And is this specifically for the lore and the way the lore goes, or is this about the unlocks and the requirements via the quest tree, as I'll call it?
It would more so be for the lore. It gives you an idea of continuity, so you seem to be living through RuneScape in order of things that happened, instead of just jumping from quest to quest. You seem to go through in a set order chronologically.
Would you consider changing the idea to also include the unlocks? Because a big problem in RuneScape, I forgot my Questscape, but I had to use many a website to find the right route, the unlocks, the minigame to get to this. Is that something you would consider before I give my judgment?
Sorry, I'm being handed mics everywhere. Yeah, I mean, having the quest list actually interface with the map a bit better might also help. If you're able to go through this quest interface and click on the specific quest, it might be able to tell you what is in that quest and what unlocks come from it and things, instead of having to Google it or use any of the fan-based websites.
It's the lack of no combat. I'm out.
Oh, that's a downer. Okay, sorry. We've got 3 more dragons to go. Martin, take it away. Yeah.
Okay, so how would you see this map actually being represented in the game? 3D, 2D, on the Oculus Rift? What do you think?
Well, I imagine that the map could be interfaced much like the actual world map itself, have it sort of expand up as a sort of a tree, in the same way that you have the skills tree in all of each of the skill guides. Along with it, there is the potential of making it an actual physical map that you can sell on the website as well. So it would give someone a physical thing they can hold on to and check off as they go, instead of looking at this digital version and think, oh, where am I on this map? Where do I want to go from here? So it's just sort of the way it progresses that I would be looking at, sir.
Yep, sounds good. Well, as an art director, I think it ticks lots of my visual boxes, and I think it could look pretty cool in 3D, kind of flying around it and kind of pretty cool. So for me, I'm in.
Yes.
Thank you.
So I have to admit, I'm a bit skeptical. So doesn't this take away some of the adventure of working out the next best thing to do, either exploring the world or even exploring fan sites and guides to find out the best possible thing?
Well, my idea for the quest map isn't actually so much for telling someone this is the route you should take for being the best at quests or getting the best rewards or unlocking the most things. It's just much like the task system and much like the achievement system. It's just a recommendation of what they can do next. There's no saying that if the quest map is saying do this next, that you actually have to do that next. You can do any quest that you want.
You think if we put a checklist in front of players, they won't want to do it in that exact order as efficiently as possible?
Well, you're obviously always going to find someone that is going to want to do it in that exact order. But there's also the potential of, in the quest map, that from one quest, there is two quests that branch off, and then it's up to them as a choice. The same two players might not make the same quest choice from there.
Yeah. No, I think you're noobifying RuneScape. I'm out.
I'm not sure who I'm supposed to be anymore because these guys are giving really strange answers. I heard this earlier in the day, so I asked you some questions then. Your answers were okay. I liked the merch angle, but how are we going to update that? If it's physical, are we going to have to ship a new one all the time? Just new quests all the time?
Well, you could always go the Apple approach, like their phones. Just start off with a very basic and terrible version, and then just make every couple of years bring out a new better
Another
one.
basic and terrible version. Okay, so the functionality is great for lots of kinds of people, and I really think we ought to make it. But I think, are we looking for something spectacular from this? Are we looking for something really cool and catchy? I don't know. Well, you should see mine. I've got one of these in HTML5 just as a dev tool for us. I don't think this is a big sell for lots of the existing players who've already done lots of the quests. But I'm in anyway.
Woo! Woo!
Thank you.
Very good, not bad at all. Dad, you've got quite a few votes there. I'm very happy with you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. There you go. So, all right, I forgot to mention one thing. I'm Mod Game Assist, by the way. And I work for the graphics team. I'm the UI artist. I thought, just in case you're interested. Okay, so enough about myself. The next contestant is now going to be here. Okay, are you ready for this? This is a good one. Seriously, I love him so much, it's unbelievable. More than you, Martin, it's come to this.
But he's your boss.
Oh, yes, okay, I take it back. I love you a little bit less than Martin. But row 00222, bring it on. Oh, you safe?
Falling over.
There you go.
Right, this is a suggestion from a person called Will Miss It, and I'm just helping him in putting towards his idea, which is like a skilling boss, where you have to use like a certain amount of skills, like fishing, to get something to help either yourself or defeat the monster, or maybe wood cutting to chop its roots when it wants to like stun you, like kind of like an evil tree. And then it'd be like something like dungeoneering, where you can do it solo, but if you have more people, then the better XP you get. And it'd be randomly spawned. In the wilderness, you get better XP because you're risking, like your supplies and your armor, if you want to. Or you can do it a safer way, where you could just do it spawn around the world, as long as there's no NPCs that randomly attack you, like muggers in Edgeville. I'm done there.
Really?
Yep.
That is so sweet. The sweetest pitch I've ever heard. What do you think? Really? And also, it's not just that, as he said, it's his friends, he's doing it for him. So he's here because his friend's not here. So he... Did he? There you go. So win-win. Do we want him to win again? I don't know. Double win? Because he had a very good divination idea as well, but, you know, he has only 3 minutes, so he went for his friend. Yeah, bravo for you. So, Ingo, take it away. What do you think?
So skilling boss, right?
Yeah.
Is what we're saying. That's kind of in my area. I love skilling. I love fishing, especially. But I think if you have been downstairs, it's the main stage there. Yeah. That's basically, I think, where we just announced the skilling boss, right? Like, so, sorry. I'm for it, but we're doing it anyway, so in a way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's pretty much coming anyway.
All right.
Yeah, so I have to be against it.
But we're doing it anyway. We're doing it anyway. It's happening. Okay. Yeah.
You can also argue we basically say yes, because it's already, you know, if that's better.
Dean O. Oh.
Give me that one.
No combat.
Yeah, I know. It's actually an interesting idea, and it does pain me a little bit inside that skillers would do bosses. But basically, the one thing we need to do, if we've been committed to this in the last meeting, or sorry, the last presentation that I wasn't in, we need to make sure there is basically a penalty and there's risk. We can't have someone going in there and sitting there fletching and then making 100 mil. It's just not going to happen, and it can't happen like that. Yeah, let's see what we come out with on that one. I'm out, but it's happening anyway. By the sounds of it.
Okay.
Okay, so as a RuneScape art director, what's in it for me? Where's the big wow factor? What's going to impress me to actually, back up and put resources into this?
Maybe like a well-detailed boss is like it's maybe like kind of like mutated. Like one will have roots, that means it represents like the wood cutting, and then like fishing like represents like the liquid inside of it, and maybe like rune crafting where you just see you see like kind of like floating kind of like rocks, and then you got like solid rocks of course for mining, so like mutated kind of looking creature.
Okay, sounds pretty interesting. Sounds like fun. I don't think it's quite got the wow factor for me, and for that reason, I'm out.
Oh, such a shame.
So I'm really intrigued by it, actually. I quite like it. I've got a few questions, though. Well, actually, I've got one main question. If you're fighting a boss or any monsters in combat, you've got a kind of a to and fro. You've got the dance of combat, and you're kind of trading damage, taking damage. It's affecting your health. You've got a real easy measure. You can lose your health over time if you're not doing so well, and it can kill you. But that makes sense in combat, because combat's all about doing damage.
Yeah.
How do we have that kind of analog to and fro, which is really, I think it might be needed for a boss, but when there's no combat going on, how do you do that kind of trade of success and failure?
Well, kind of like with agility, where you have to like avoid these things and like kind of stealth your way through. Also, when you do take damage, depending on like your life point bonus, and if you are a skiller, then the damage will be like maybe a quarter of your health gone. But there will be like food there, but you need to like fish it from the monster and then cook it and then eat it that way to keep on surviving.
That's a really good answer. Yeah, I'm in.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so bearing in mind we've only got a minute, what's your divination idea?
Oh, really? Okay, I need to use this now. Sorry.
Right,
Yeah.
okay, the skilling boss. What Dean says, we can fix that. How would you fix the risk thing?
You can like, I don't know, like banking, like there might be like a deposit box where you could just bank your valuable items. But if you want to bring like more valuable items like armor or even GP, I think the higher the risk you take, the more XP you get. To put it in that way, instead of like anyone can just go in with nothing or barely or very low level gear and they could just get the same XP, which is kind of unfair for some people.
Yep, that's a good answer. That fixes you. I'm in.
Wow, good. Well, Matthew's in as well. Big hand for row 00222. Okay, that was amazing. Thank you very much. Okay. Are you ready for the next one? Who isn't ready for the next one? Why are you not ready for the next one? Because he's amazing. Okay? So get yourself ready. You need what do you call it, Lucozade or something. Ready? Yeah, he's getting there. Okay, good enough. Okay, so now, oh my God, you're gonna love this. Primal Moose is coming on the stage.
Hiya. Right, my idea is you've got a lot of mini games at the moment, like Trouble Brewing, Pest Control, that sort of thing. They're all becoming sort of, people are going less to them. One in particular that I've been trying to play quite recently, Barbarian Assault.
I'm in. It's to save me mining and doing agility.
But yeah, so Barbarian Assault, it's become sort of relatively dead content. The rewards are still really good, especially the experience, but people just don't do it. And as I've got max combat, I can just walk into it now, and it's kind of not really a challenge. So my idea is Barbarian Assault hard mode, whereby, like in Dungeoneering, all the monsters, their combat levels are all raised up. It's a lot more challenging. But I also want to see it where you rely on each other a lot more, because at the moment, the attackers attack stuff and then they sit back and twiddle their thumbs. The defenders, they're running his arse off trying to get to the runners and all the other stuff, making it more interactive. So perhaps the attackers sort of have some input to attacking the healers or the runners, sort of trying to raise the interconnectivity between them all. And then as part of the rewards for it, there could be, say, a penance like master version, for example, where the levels are a bit more, the stats are a bit better to make it more in line with what the ESC's brought, and also rings that are linked to the tier that you've maxed out. So, for example, like the medic or the healer ring could provide a boost in game. For example, like maybe a 5% boost to all the food that you eat or something like that. And that was my idea.
Okay. So, they're working, yeah.
Yeah.
The core pitch is a rework of it, right? But it's the core pitch, the hard mode. Or the general rework, going deeper into more tactical mechanics and...
The hard mode in particular.
Test?
Is it working? Yeah. Yeah, no, the hard mode is the main pitch, but also a rework to try and make it more interesting, basically, more appealing for more new players and stuff.
Yeah, what I like about it is, you know, the couple of phrases you used that were kind of indicating a bit more tactical depth. You know, that's kind of stuff I like, so got my vote. Definitely.
Oh, good.
And also, I just want to give you the feedback. It's actually a really good idea. I think we need some work on Barb Assault to get back going. I'd also potentially like to link that to the grouping system that I'm actually, we get the volumes of players in there. The thing I'd like to explore, though, is the rings you mentioned on the rewards. That could be really good and assist with abilities and give buffs on abilities, for instance, or something cool like that, and add tactical variation. Really good pitch, really good idea. I'm in twice.
Oh.
You can't have my vote. That's my vote, okay? You're out next time.
It's Jewish. It needs graphical rework.
Well, that's my question. It's been well thought through. It's a good presentation. It seems to be liked by generally the public. But same question, what's in it for me? What do I get out of it? I'm an art director. Show me something amazing and wow and flashy.
You've just got the Barrows hard mode I was having a look at downstairs below. I was thinking that you could maybe sort of make the penance hard mode even more sort of dark and dangerous, that sort of thing. I forgot to mention on my original bit as well. You've got the Penance Queen at the moment, and you've got, like, you had the King Black Dragon. I'm thinking an alternate Penance King that could then also have new mechanics like the Queen Black Dragon brought to the game. Mm-hmm. That sort of thing as well. So you'd have a new boss monster effectively to sort of sink your teeth in to try and...
new boss monster. Mm.
As part of the minigame.
No, you said that now. I said new boss monster. And Dark and Dangerous is my middle name. And for that reason, I am in.
Excellent.
Wow!
Yeah, I like it. It's really timely. We're talking in the other sessions about really sorting out some of the dormant content in the game. As Dean mentioned, the grouping system, matchmaking. It's going to put a lot more focus on mini-games and things like Barb Assault. I do have a question. You talked about some of your ideas for hard mode. Do you see any of those coming back into the normal Barb Assault as well? Or are you thinking exclusively for hard mode?
No, I wanted to see, like, also, well, the levels of the monsters anyway, maybe making them scale up based on what the average team combat level is, because sort of at the moment, I normally play for, like, the clan members, most of them like level 200, so we go through it and the attackers will be done within 30 seconds, and then they sit there for the next 2 minutes while we try and do the rest of the work. So maybe sort of making the mechanics so it scales it up, but then also introducing the EOC combat to the attackers, to like the rangers and the melee warriors, to try and make it a bit more difficult as well, a bit more challenging.
Yeah, I like it. Good idea. Well timed. Yeah, I'm in.
Wow.
Okay. So we've got the current one is based on picking roles and working together with each person doing a different job. You keeping that?
They're being kept, but rather than it just being purely like the medic, I keep calling it the medic, the healer just has to heal people and poison the healers. Maybe introducing another sort of, I haven't thought through like exactly how, but in general, sort of, I wanted to see it more interactive.
But that was a we're keeping it, but we're going to put more in, rather than we're keeping it, but I want to hide it. You like the roles?
I like the roles, but I think that they're very sort of, there's a point where they get to, and then you're sort of like, well, can't really do much else. Like the collectors, for example, it's like egg, 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 but that's all they can do.
Okay.
So, like one I do have was like perhaps with the eggs, maybe making something that can slow down, like bollards, for example, where they can make a bollard that slows down the runners a bit to the defender.
Okay.
Then that's
the roles is my favourite thing about Barbarian Assault. I really love that kind of team. Picking roles, everyone does something different, everyone has a responsibility, everyone gets it done, teamwork. So it's a brilliant idea, and I've got a reputation to keep up, so I'm out.
Oh, are you serious? Seriously? Because you can't take back your decision. If you're out, you're out. Oh, God, I thought it was going to be a home run. That's a shame. But how good was that? It was amazing. Oh, I love you. Okay, that was near epic, don't you think? So that's a tough one to follow, to be honest. But if anyone can do it, the next contestant can do it, because she's just brilliant. Okay, so you know who it is? Any ideas? Loki. Yes, Loki! It's Loki 1. Bring it on.
My idea is actually quite simple. It's just a simple update to Dungeoneering rewards. I'm a general in a community Dungeoneering clan, and it's been really noticeable since the beginning of the year, particularly the drop-off in interest in Dungeoneering across the board. And there's a lot of very logical reasons for that. It's been easier now to solo than it ever was before, and there's an awful lot of new content that's very interesting and pulling people away from Dungeoneering. Crucially, one of the pieces of content that's been released is an awful lot of high-level armour and weaponry, which means that one of the main draws to Dungeoneering, the chaotic weapons, are no longer quite so attractive to people. So my idea is a Dungeoneering reward rework to release level 90 items that have a very, very high token cost of around about 1 million tokens, which is completely achievable from somebody who's training from level 99 to level 120. 1 million is a very reasonable figure. They'd have to still be degradable, and I think those two things are necessary in order to avoid crashing the other high-level weapons that are already there. But ultimately, Dungeoneering, when it was released, there was a reason it was released at level 120 instead of level 99, because it's supposed to be aspirational end-game content. And if you want to keep it relevant and still release other new content in the game, you have to occasionally tweak the updates, tweak the rewards, so that people still keep coming back and still have that interest and still genuinely want to work towards the rewards of the skill, not just to grind away until they achieve the level. So put something in that is melee weapons or major range weapons that equate to the best in the game, and that people can buy with their tokens and give them something to keep going and working towards. That's it.
Wow. Do you like it? It's brilliant.
So, your main pitch is around you want to change only the high-level rewards, or do you want to change all rewards, as in a total rework of all rewards, just high-level?
I think the rewards up to 99 are quite balanced as they are. I do think that there is space for additional ones to be brought in. For example, a wand and an orb is an obvious one. But I think that the main point when the interest wanes a little bit is because it's a really long road from 99 to 120. And then if you're going on again to 200 million, then it's even further along. And you need to give people a reason to keep working towards it. And I think when it was originally released, everybody wanted Chaotix because they were #1 in the game. And that was one of the best things that keep people coming back, not just to get the levels, but also to come back because they need more points to recharge them. So I think basically just because time has gone on, there's been so much new content, it's about time that we got something epic for Dungeoneering so that we keep it that relevance and it being the end game content that's been playing for.
I agree with your reasoning. Your points are very valid, and you get my vote for this.
Wow. Good. Ingo's in.
Yeah, you're 100% right on what you said. It's the reason I don't do Dungeoneering. I stopped. I got my level 90 weapons, and then you don't need to carry on. I would be wary. Would you want to outclass the DPM or DPS of weapons I can buy via GP or via doing my killing?
No, I don't. I think you'd have to be very careful not to crash the existing stuff that's already there. But there's a different sort of player. I mean, there are people who will want to go and boss and do that sort of high-level, high-risk activity. And then there are people who are more comfortable just doing a community thing like Dungeoneering, which is much less intensive combat, but because of the duration of it, up to level 120 and beyond, you want to get something that is a very large, substantial reward for that as well because of the amount of effort that goes into it. So I don't think you'd want to outclass the weapons that are there, but I think you want to give that different sort of player access to a similar sort of weaponry, but within as a reward for the sort of gameplay that they're already doing.
So just as contrast, for instance, say you put the equivalent of Drygors, Seismic, and Ascensions on there, exactly the same balance. Would that suffice? So the people who can make the GP and are interested in that route can get it, and then you guys would have something on par. Is that what you're kind of suggesting?
I think so. I think you'd have to be very careful to have a very high token cost for it, and you'd have to be very careful about how quickly it degrades. But I think because, as I say, there's a balance involved. But I do think that that's something that would be very valuable, and people would then aspire to earning, and they would come back to Dungeoneering for.
It's a really good idea. It's close to my heart, and if it gets me Dungeoneering, I'm in.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it sounds like a good, simple, kind of thought-out idea. How would you visually differ these from other weapons? What's going to make them stand out?
Graphically, the way that they're designed. Wow. I'm pretty sure that you'll be able to come up with lots of better ideas than I could for that one.
No. That's not my job.
Doesn't everyone have just the umbrella override anyway? I mean, I think, in terms of weapons are obviously one of the most demonstrative items. Everyone wants to have the next new fancy sword or wand or whatever. So I think that in itself could be a very big draw, but I really haven't got an idea of what they look like. It's more just in terms of there is a gap in terms of functionality and there's a gap in terms of reward, and I think this would be a really good thing to fill it with. In terms of what they look like, that's entirely up to you.
Oh, well, in my best Scottish voice, it's poorly conceived. No, it has no interest for me at all. That's all I do. It's got no visual interest for me at all, really. I want big explosions and flying saucers and aliens and dragons, flying saucers. And for that reason, I'm out, I'm afraid.
Oh. Okay, thanks.
So I'm really torn. I totally agree we need post-99 Dungeoneering rewards. I am not at all convinced that putting them straight up against level 90 weapons is the way to do it. Is there anything you can do to convince me that these wouldn't go head-to-head and undercut the existing rewards? Do you have alternatives? Do you have ways that would differentiate them, apart from token cost?
I certainly have alternatives. I mean, if you don't want to do a weapon-based reward, there's an awful lot of other things that could be done. There's, for example, hatchets and pickaxes. There are things like the stealing creation tools, which are a lot less used now than they used to be. So something similar in function to that is another example. There could be chaotic fragments, which you could use to augment dragon armor, things like that, that could be used to boost already existing items. And you could even add them onto the level 90 items that are already in game to make them even more epic. It's just the idea that there'll be something there that is higher than the tier that we have at the moment that gives people a reason to keep going. And it could be anything.
You're so close, but I think you haven't fleshed out what those things are. You haven't got an alternative, I don't think, to the weapons.
Thanks.
Not really.
No, I'm out.
Oh, that was close, though. That was very close. Okay.
So, the pitch was great. The answers to the questions have been particularly good, apart from Phil's question, because really, if you're up pitching something and you're going to be specific the first time, then plow on with it and try and get the original to work, rather than going back to something more general. I'm sort of aware that my vote probably doesn't matter now. I would be very, very worried about putting new weapons up against Drygors and friends. And we would definitely need something to make a difference between them, some choice between them. Ideally enough choice between them so that players would want both, ultimately. I mean, if the players who are rich or committed to dungeoneering are rocking one or the other, but they are different enough that players who are rich and committed to dungeoneering can want both and choose between. I probably would have been out just because of the risk of promising to make something that ultimately we might not be able to balance against the existing stuff. But, so yeah, I probably have to be out. But with pitching like that and answers to questions like that, you ought to consider a career in game design.
Yes, that was really, wow. Okay, that's a good one. I love that. Thank you very much, Loki One. That was amazing. Wasn't that amazing? That was great, okay? But this bunch is just tough, really. And I'm a developer, so I can say that. I deal with that every day. So that is tough. But I think we've got a winner. Do you want to reconsider? Because I'm going to call them all here. Look at their faces. They're cute, lovely faces. Come on, Ele 14. I want to look at you, buddy. I want to look at all of you. Come here. Primal Moose, Loki, come. Look at that face. I mean, how can you not say I'm into every single one of them? They were amazing. Well, another applause for the contestants. They've been amazing. They were so brave to come here, you know. None of you could do that, but anyway. So yeah, well, I know my chart is telling me who has got the most votes. You guys probably have a little bit of idea. Who, yeah, not you. Yeah, you're happy. You said pretty much no to everybody, but no. Not really. No, half and half. Okay, so what's going to happen is I'm going to tell you who has won the final verdict. Okay, it is the hard mode. Barbarian Assault. It is the Primal Moose. Yes. And you know what's going to happen to you now? You're going to be famous. In the whole world. Can you take all the paparazzi? Can you deal with the fame?
I'll do my best.
Really? I think you can deal with it very well. What you're going to get is a little certificate. Come here. And our dragons are going to sign it for you. You're going to keep it for the rest of your life. And
I'm going to frame it.
Yes, that will be amazing. Put it in your living room or wherever you want to put it. Get it signed from the dragons. And the rest of the world is going to see your Barbarian Assault shortly. That's happening. How soon? You're asking me?
It's probably not the next update. Exactly.
A month? Wow. I want to say yes so bad right now, but I can't.
I think I heard full graphical rework.
Yeah. Not really. No. Yeah, okay. Take it easy.
Especially in the UI area, I think.
Thank you very much. Okay, it's all UI. Well, thank you. That's me. Me taken care of for the next couple of months. But congratulations, Primal Moose. And once again, thank you very much to the lovely, amazing contestants. You have no idea how many ideas we had. These guys have come so close. They just cut off everybody else and they won the pitches. They're here. It's not a small thing. So, you know, bravo to you guys. And thank you very much to each and every dragon. Thank you so much. I love you for life. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your lovely opinions and your feedback. That has been amazing. And thank you guys. I love you so much. Thank you very much for being here.
The party still goes, but the stream ends here, I'm afraid. We've had an amazing time at RuneFest 3. We've lost Lee somewhere. He should be here to say goodbye, but he's vanished into all that. So we hope you've had a good time, because we've absolutely loved it.
Yeah, we've loved it. He's probably down there watching that lady with the fire. Guys, it's been fantastic today. We've seen people dressed in all sorts of outfits. She's going crazy down there. They've been playing games, they've been meeting the mods, and of course, they've been getting involved with the game RuneScape itself as well.
So that's it. RuneFest 2013 out. Thank you very much. We'll see you next year.
Bye.